If you are a fleet operator or a manager of the transportation department at a large MNC, there is one vehicle in the market that you should be aware of. And nope, it's not the Innova because it has proved its might over the years. What I'm here to talk about is this, the BYD E6, an all-electric, all-new product for the Indian market. Now, there are a lot of things that this car boasts of, and the most prominent being is its range. 520 kilometers on a single charge, the highest claim to be made in the market currently. Then is its low running cost, 1.50 rupee to the kilometer, and that is very impressive. It also boasts of a very innovative blade battery technology that comes with an 8-year and 5 lakh kilometer warranty. Now that I have your attention, let's talk more about the BYD E6. Is this an all-new brand, you ask? Well, BYD has been around globally for a very long time, and even in India, they've entered the market in 2007 as BYD India. Since then, they've been operating out of Chennai, manufacturing electronic components for major consumer brands, providing EV transportation solutions for major cities. In fact, BYD has recently celebrated 8 years of successful EV transportation in India, and that is a huge feat. The E6, the one that I'm driving today, is a commercial vehicle only, and BYD has made it clear that the product lineup for the B2B customers and the B2C customers is different. It's distant and do not overlap. And you know what? This clear demarcation helps them focus on their products. This EV6, it isn't trying to impress a whole bunch of audience. Instead, it has a very focused approach, and that is a good thing because there is so much to gain from what it offers. Of which, firstly, the main talking point of any EV, the range, the battery, the operating costs, because this is a commercial vehicle, and the powertrain and charging options. So I'll walk you through all of it. So the E6 comes equipped with a 71.7 kWh battery pack with a WLTC range of 520 kilometers and a combined city usage of 415 kilometers. Now, those are some very impressive figures, and it would be nice to put all of that to test. Obviously, a day's usage is not going to allow me to do that. So what I'm going to do is talk to you while I'm driving the vehicle so that I can put as many kilometers as possible. We'll come to the results at the end of the video, but for now, let us talk about the rest of the things. So what does drive this EV? One permanent synchronous motor that is placed on the front of it and sends power to the front wheels. The motor, it is rated to a maximum power of 70 kilowatt, which translates to roughly about 92.6 bhp and offers a maximum torque of 180 Newton meters. The top speed, well, that is limited to 130 kilometers, but since this being a commercial vehicle, I think most of the owners will cap it at 80. Now, the E6 is tuned towards efficiency. It's tuned towards giving you the maximum range that can be extracted from that battery pack. So when you press the accelerator, there isn't that sudden burst of EV torque that you would expect from this vehicle. Not that it is sluggish, because it is quick through the traffic, especially given how heavy this is. It weighs almost close to the 2-ton mark. Now, the gain in speed, well, that feels linear and gradual. It's like it smoothens out your throttle response, and that is something that the passengers in the car would appreciate, but the driver, not so much. But having said that, overtaking is a fairly easy task with the E6, and the same can be said about its capabilities of climbing up an incline. It feels confident through various conditions too. So let's quickly also talk about the charging options. You get the standard 6.6 kilowatt charging option that can be plugged in at your home through the 15/20 ampere plug point. You also get the 60 kilowatt DC fast charging support that a lot of these fast chargers that you can find in public have to offer. But what's new with the E6 is a proprietary technology from BYD. It's a 40 kilowatt AC fast charger, and BYD is also providing these fast chargers to be installed at your preferred location at a cost of 3 lakh rupees, but that will help you keep this car topped up without having to resort to the DC fast chargers. So there is a lot of figures that are very likable about the E6. And what's even more interesting is its running cost, 1.5 rupee per kilometer. Yes, you heard it right, and it is the lowest operating cost of any fleet vehicles by a huge margin. Add to that the servicing cost, and BYD tells us that the operating costs are still the lowest amongst any fleet vehicle because this is all electric. It might be a little expensive to buy, but within 2 years, you can break even with a diesel-powered MPV, and after that, every kilometer done is some sort of saving, is some sort of bonus. Now, what customers will be also looking out for in a commercial vehicle, in a vehicle that's supposed to ferry passengers, is the space, the practicality, and the cabin ambience. So, will the customers really enjoy the time in the E6? I think they will, and not just them, even the driver would. So, sharing the experience from behind the wheel, you have a nice and wide view from outside the windscreen, and that is all thanks to this low-set dashboard. The instrument cluster, it is divided into 3 parts. So you have a digital display in the center that gives you the details about your trip, your region mode, and your state of charge, commonly referred to as SOC. On the right is your analog speed readout, and on the left you have a real-time battery consumption indicator with the battery percentage, and well, it's all very functional and to the point. In front of the display is this steering wheel. It's flat bottom and 3-spoke. It's got some functions here for the music mode, volume controls on the right hand side. The left side is just blank, and although it's quite chunky, the finish is not the most premium. The good thing is though that the steering wheel is 4-way adjustable, so yes, adjustable for reach as well as rake. Now, talking about the dashboard, the first thing that you'll notice is this gloss black panel that spreads throughout the length of it with the illuminated brand insignia that says build your dreams, that's fitted right here. What I really like though is the infotainment system. It's a 10.1 inch screens, and it almost feels like a tablet. In fact, it is a tablet that's been fixed here. What also adds to that entire tablet feel is that you can do that. It swivels, and you know, it then moves between the landscape and the portrait mode. It also gets loads of features, and then you can download some more from the Google Play Store. You can also connect it to Wi-Fi, and you can use your phone's hotspot to browse on the internet. It is a full-fledged tablet. The only complaint that I have with it is the font. It looks a little too gimmicky, but I'm sure there is a way that you can alter all of that. Now, one thing to point out that most of the AC controls have been moved within the screen, and while the interface, you know, it isn't the most intuitive, it somewhat reminds me of the MG Hector, but it's still, I mean, take some time getting used to, and once that happens, you can make do with it. What I've been using extensively is the Spotify app, because this being a commercial vehicle still gets 4 decently sounding speakers, and it also gets this 3D mode, which enhances the experience within the cabin. Now, further down this central console, you've got a little space here to put your phone, no wireless charging on offer. You've got your volume controls, you've got a switch here to switch between the high and the low setting of region. 2 buttons here dedicated to the AC vent to switch it on, and an auto mode, so quick controls. A rotary style knob to switch between reverse, neutral and drive, with the parking button placed in between. Also, this E6 gets an e-handbrake, so that's placed here quite neatly. Lots of cubby holes, lots of spaces here, even plenty of storage under the central armrest, and it all is very usable, quite well finished, I must say. All very functional and all decently executed, and the same can be said about the seats that do the job just right. The cushioning is good, but the support, it isn't. I've not got much for my shoulder or the side bolster. Plus the material here, it makes my back sweat a lot, and the shirt stick to the seat a lot. Seat ventilation would have been a nice addition, but then again, that's a luxury feature, and this is a commercial vehicle. Now, talking about the space, especially with the front 2 seats, there is good distance between me and my co-passenger. This central console here is quite wide. Also, as you can see, the cabin, that remains fairly wide as well. It shares its length and a few other dimensions very closely with the Toyota Innova, and that really shows. The rear seat experience is great, and it all starts with these long doors that open really wide, aiding to a very graceful ingress and egress. It's also helped by its 170mm ground clearance, which means getting in and out doesn't feel like climbing a mountain. Now, once you are inside, you are treated to this flat bench, which, like the front, has great cushioning but lacks the desired support. It is, however, extremely functional, and seating 3 here would not be a hassle at all. What also aids to that is the floor that is near flat and that offers a lot of space to move around. In terms of the features, the rear passengers, they get 2 USB slots and 1 AC vent. You get an LED light on the roof, no central armrest. However, the door bins, they can hold large bottles. Also, the rear bench, that is a fixed seat and cannot be folded down. Now, the E6 is being called an MPV, all right? I can live with that. But what it doesn't get is a third row of seat. Well, that does mean that you get a large cargo area, 580 liters. Also, it is wide and it is flat, and loading big suitcases, stacking them one over each other or sideways, howsoever you want it, won't be a problem because it is extremely usable. Now, what is also very impressive with the E6 is the technology it packs. Now, globally, the E6, it has earned a huge reputation over the years for being called a perfect hauler for various applications, and being electric, it is also very, very inexpensive to run. And a lot of it is down to the battery technology that it uses, termed as Blade technology. This cobalt-free battery is stacked differently from how the usual battery cells are, and that aids to its safer operation. It is less susceptible to damages due to external factors or things like overcharging or multiple fast charging. They've also tested it extremely well, very rigorously, crushing it, bending it, penetrating nails through it, heating it to over 300 degrees, and they've gone basically crazy with the battery pack, and not even in a single instant has it exploded. Such impressive has this technology's performance been that through an intermediary brand, they've signed up with Toyota to provide them with the powertrain for all their future EVs, and that is saying something. Well, how does the BYD E6 feel to drive? Say, suppose you take up the duties of the driver, how does it respond to you? Let me tell you, from behind the wheel, the E6, it feels effortless to drive. Everything here has been tuned for utmost comfort. It's supremely relaxed, and I know that might not be an attribute that we as enthusiasts would appreciate, but it's going to go a very long way for the E6. First, because this is an electric car that is aimed towards commercial duties. And this being an electric car, there are no vibrations that are passed into the cabin. The sound insulation, that is good. The NVH levels, extremely well. The build quality overall is very impressive. Now, I have already described the motor's performance. It's not very exciting, but it is capable of carrying a full load of passengers without a hassle, with their luggage as well, and taking up inclines, taking up the usual things that our Indian conditions would have to offer. Overtaking do need some sort of prior planning, but it does it without any hassle. Just commit towards it and it will gather speed eventually. Acceleration, as I mentioned, is linear. It is gradual, but it is good. It is there. It's very finely tuned to this very specific usage, and that's about it. And what is also very finely tuned is the way the E6 handles. I absolutely love its ride quality. It is supple in the way it moves. The fully electric E platform is flat around the corners. It is calm. It feels confident, and you can actually push it slightly into a corner. Obviously, because of that low center of gravity, it holds itself in position, but then again, there is a lot of understeer because all of that weight, all of that inertia, it just pushes it towards the outside. But then again, it's not a corner carver, so those sort of characteristics are all right to deal with. Nothing surprising. That is what we actually expected out of the E6. The body roll is very well contained, especially when you compare it with the Innova, and that is the point of reference that I keep coming back to because, well, the car has been with us throughout the day. The McPherson struts in the front and the multi-link setup in the back, it's a setup that has proved its worth for the Indian conditions, and it works just brilliantly in the E6 too. What I also like is the steering setup with the E6. Now, obviously, it does not have the feedback that you'd expect from a race car, but then again, I like how it weighs. So in the city, it is quite easy and light to use. You know, it's easy to maneuver this big vehicle through the city traffic, whereas out on the highway, it gathers some good weight. So you feel confident when you're taking those long sweeping corners. Again, a very good attribute of the E6 because it makes driving that much more effortless and that much more safer is what I feel. Now, one figure in the spec sheet that has caught my attention is its ground clearance, 170 millimeters. Now, that might sound a little low and a little concerning given how, you know, roads in India turn up to be, especially if this car is being aimed towards long distance intercity travels. Throughout our day's use, we didn't have any issue whatsoever. But then again, it has a very long wheelbase and 170 mm could be slightly low. Nothing that we encountered, but then again, something that I am speculating. Now what the E6 also gets are region modes, so 2 settings for it, and it's called the standard and the second is called large. I don't know, it could have come with a better name, but then again they work just how any region system would work. So standard offers you that little resistance and large obviously slows you down considerably when you lift off from the throttle. The good thing about the E6 is it can regen, it can capture all of that power from as low as 2 kmph. So when you're driving it through traffic, and if you know how to drive your EVs, this can actually gather a lot more kilometers and gather a lot more charge even in your normal day's use, and that is an attribute that you would want your EV to deliver on. The E6, it does it pretty darn well. Now I told you at the start of the video that I am not going to leave the driver's seat because I really want to test out the range that the E6 has to offer, because that is something that a lot of you would want to know. Well, what do we do in the meantime? Let's see. Let's talk about the exteriors. Not that it matters in a commercial vehicle, but still, we've got time to kill. Now, I would say that the E6 is an attractive looking MPV, especially in this shade of blue with the contrasting black roof and the black skirt sticker that it gets. It's quite a tacky job, but then it does make it look quite attractive. I feel that the design is very safe and conventional, nothing too shouty. It's designed to suit a wide audience. I mean, come on, the E6 is being sold in close to 30 countries around the globe, and you wouldn't want the car to, spark a lot of opinion. You would want the car to be easily accepted in those sort of societies. Now, moving to the side of the BYD, and I'm speaking to you about its design as I am driving in Chennai through the traffic, and I can tell you what, a lot of interest being generated by this. Obviously, it's a new badge that people are noticing. It's a new car. But then again, I think it's the design that is, grabbing all of that attention. Now, talking about the side, the one thing that I actually noticed while, crawling in traffic is that the wing mirror is not mounted on the pillar, but it is on the door. And again, a very nice touch. I also like the window line. It is relatively quite straight, except that little kink at the rear that says space, indicating that yes, behind that is cargo space. Strange. And it's a very flowy design. The roof actually merges with the spoiler, and talking about the tailgate, it is again very neatly designed. Can appeal to a large audience. It's very safe to say so. The wraparound tail lamps, they are split into two, so half of it is on the tailgate, which opens up, and half is on the body, on the rear fender. Overall, I think it's not attractive or beautiful, but very functional and very smart. Something that fits the corporate bill rather well. Yep, that's the easiest way to sum it up. And talking about summing things up, what do I think of the E6? Okay, so this being a commercial vehicle, it does a lot of things right that it is supposed to do. The space, the ride quality, the features it has to offer, they are adequate for the kind of duties that are expected out of it. Even the fit and finish levels, even the build quality, everything has been done absolutely well. Then comes the technology that it packs, that Blade battery technology and the range that it has to offer, plus BYD's proprietary 40 kilowatt AC charging infrastructure that they offer with this car. All of it combined proves to be a very cost-effective and a very good solution when it comes to transportation, given the pollution and the challenges that we face in terms of logistics and all of that. I think this is a very good solution to all of it. It can prove to be quite effective. This product is something that can make electric mobility a reality. It is what will give people that confidence to trust an electric vehicle, to travel between cities, to travel long distance. Well, the traffic in Chennai, not as bad as Bangalore, eh? But okay, don't start a fight in the comments below. Maybe you can tell me about what you think about the E6. Do you like the way it looks? What do you think of BYD being a Chinese entity? Maybe just let me know there. I know you've got some thoughts about that. Also, let me know what do you think of its range. 500 kilometers of usable range from an MPV. I think they've actually got themselves quite a winner here, don't you think so? Now we are almost reaching the airport, 10 minutes from here, and I'll give you a quick runabout of the kilometers and the figures here. So I have, where is it? Okay, clocked in 240 kilometers in total, and I still have 200 kilometers left to empty. So that's 440 kilometers combined without me driving it like a cab driver would, and with me having this car stationary with all the electricals running, with the AC running through a day's use. 430 kilometers. That is impressive. And I did not for once try to conserve that. And I think the BYD E6, it should do well. So those are our driving impressions of the BYD E6. Let us know, what do you think of this MPV? Drop it all in the comments below, and I'll see you the next time. Take care and have a safe one.